Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We have a list of 22 properties, and because I was away yesterday at a family event, we're doing a double day. So we've got all the listings from yesterday and all the listings from today, and hopefully you had a chance to check out our episode with the new kids. I thought it was pretty funny, and let's get started. Now, this episode has a bunch of listings with poor photos, and we've talked about how much more money people with better photos make. So we're not going to talk about that. I could probably stomp all over a lot of these homes. I'm not going to do that. This is one of the ones that happens to have subpar photos, and there's a tenant in here. So when I look at stuff like this, it's a big no-no, but you only have so much control as a landlord about how a place is left, because the tenant really has no vested interest in the outcome of the sale beyond just trying to keep their inconveniences to a minimum by having less showings and hopefully selling it faster. Now, here's the dilemma that we talk to a lot of people about when they're looking at selling a home with a tenant. You either have option one, which is sell it while the tenant's still in there, which can avoid some of the problems with scenario two, but it's, you've got 24 hours notice. It can be restrictive. You don't have a lot of control over what's happening inside. Now, scenario two is you wait till the tenant gets out, and then you can paint it or tidy it up or do whatever you need to do to have more control over the process, allow showings to happen whenever because it's vacant. However, you're going to have extra costs. You're going to carry the home with mortgage, taxes, condo fees, etc. So you might make $3,000 or $4,000 extra, or $5,000 or $10,000 more, because you're actually making it a better unit, more available, and so on. But making more money, it's also going to cost you more too. So that's the scenario that a lot of landlords find themselves in. And it goes back to the universal rule: is if you get good tenants, it makes your life infinitely better. So anyway, if you have questions about that, give us a call. We have 100 Millside, which is predominantly an adult community. We're actually working on the Milton condo guide soon. You can see the guide to Milton prices over there. So we're going to add a little section onto there all about condos. And so this building, predominantly 50 plus, the price is $324.9. Drastic difference between the low floors and the higher floors. It's unit 408. Normally we see it up here, but it's not. A couple of the lower floors have had a tough time recently selling. I think one just got an offer after like 55 days. And so the unit's pretty large. We've got 3 different color appliances here. We've got white stove, black dishwasher, and kind of a tan fridge. For the cost to replace those things, often it makes sense, especially when even if you're just getting white appliances. There are people all the time on Craigslist and Kijiji who change to stainless steel, sell the white ones, buy them for $100. It's super cheap if that's in the budget, and if you're able to obviously transport them as well. Now, this looks like it faces the retirement home right here. Once you get above that, you obviously get much better views, but it's got a nice floor plan. The fees are higher in this building. They're $738 a month. They do include more in terms of amenities, but they also include heat, hydro, cable. So when you look at the per square foot, like if we went to a newer building like Costigan or Bristol on Main, you're probably $400, $450 there for similar sized units, for 1,200-1,300 square foot units. So you're paying $300 more a month on something like this. The location downtown is great, but even beyond that, you pay for your cable, heat, hydro, even a gym membership, which you may not even need in a place like this. And before you know it, you're not that far off the difference there. So I don't know. It's one thing to look at the cost of fees, but it's another thing to look at what it actually includes. Okay, so we've got 2 of the same model. It's called an Emery model, 1370 square feet. This one's $449.5. I think it would have been a better idea to do $450,000 because of the price bracketing, because of what we talk about. $450,000 puts you in 2 different price brackets. This one would only put you in the $425 to $450. I don't think that's going to affect them because they have a pretty good home here. Pot lights. Some people may say, well, this one doesn't have hardwood floors. Yeah, but it has everything else. It has granite counters. It's got a backsplash, dark cabinets, pendant lights here. Like I said, the pot lights outside in the main living area. Glass shower up in the master. So the only thing missing is hardwood if someone wanted to do it. I think these guys are going to sell very quickly. We've sold similar sized townhouses recently for way more than this. So be surprised if they didn't sell for this price or more. Now here's the other one on Gifford Crescent, same model, Emery. I like Gifford Crescent, it's a nice street. Everyone seems to take care of their homes on Gifford, which when you're looking at that, most people have blinders when they look at homes. They say, okay, I'm just looking at my property, but take a look around. When you're upstairs in the master bedroom, look at all the yards around you. Are there kids there? Do they mow their lawn? Those are all things that contribute to your happiness long-term in the neighborhood. You obviously have hardwood floors here. You have a finished basement. You've got also a good-looking kitchen. No granite countertops. Although in a townhouse, I don't think granite's as important as if you're getting like a double-car garage, detached home. It's just, you know, that's a more feature-sensitive audience. This under 500 is probably more of a first-time buyer, a little bit more price-focused. So anyway, it's a nice-looking home. The floors are even upgraded on the second level, plus the cost of the finished basement. So I know that this one, $20,000 more, is there's some advantages here. I think if you put $20,000 in the other one, it would look like something like this. Plus, you'd have granite counters. But I just think that the work and having it already done, there's an advantage to that because it's not as simple as writing a check. I like them both. For me, I'd be willing to pay the extra knowing that it's already done. I wouldn't have to do it. Now, here's the thing about Eager is once you get up to 650, people have a lot of choices for double car garage. Don't quote me on this, but I would just check the size of this double garage to see if it is a full double. It looks a little bit more narrow. And the other thing inside is that you only have that room plus a kitchen with an eat-in. So if you want a formal dining area, it's not going to happen in this particular home. It looks good enough. You know, your countertops are upgraded, faucet, California shutters, and so on. Plus a finished basement. But like I said, on the main floor, if you want more space, this may not be the right place for you. And then, you know, I think there are some homes in this neighborhood that are close to double, but not quite. So, I don't know. Just buyer beware. Okay, next up is 898 Farmstead, 749. They started back in August, like August 5th or something, listed at 779. Meanwhile, in April, it was listed at 710, but that's beside the point. So 779, then 759 2 weeks later, and then probably another 2 weeks later, we've got it at 749. So it certainly looks like the pattern of people who really want to sell this home. They are missing a shutter. We talked about that in a past episode. This is a wood lily corner, and so it's 2661 square feet. And it's a nice floor plan, really nice floor plan. And yeah, I like this little turret upstairs in the master bedroom. It might be a nice place for a home office. So anyway, so this one here, I guess the story is, you know, I wasn't feeling it anywhere near 779. I feel a bit better at 750, although it's still not one of those things where, you know, it's a screaming hot deal. It is on Farmstead too, and so that can be a bit of a busier street and a bit of a tougher sell. Okay, so Milton Brook is the next one up, and I noticed a very interesting characteristic here. So 786 Millbrook, and then the price is 786. That number, not only have they kind of created that coincidence, it's also a number that to certain Muslims can be important. And so I'm not Muslim, remember this, but my understanding is it roughly translates into in the name of God. And so some Muslims say that doesn't matter, some do, but I wonder if that would open up the audience the same way as homes that have the number 8, that's considered lucky to certain Chinese people. And so The number 4 is considered not so good in Chinese. So I wonder if that's actually going to be a positive thing for this home. I'm not sure. So we got to look at it obviously on the basis of what it has to offer. 2870 square feet, and the finishes look pretty good. Whenever you look at a home like this, you can say, well, it's vacant, so someone's paying the bills and no one's living here. So the motivation usually is not desperate, obviously, but it's, you know, be great to get rid of it kind of thing. So nice floor plan. Coscourt builds a pretty good home, especially in this area, and you're backing onto green space. I also like the location of this home. So here's Milton Brook Crescent, just off of McLaughlin. You have the hospital here, so you're a little close to the hospital. Maybe some of the buildings here, I mean, you know, you're going to hear ambulances. I don't know, but the sports center's just over here, one street away. You've got huge community park here. You've got Anjay MacArthur. Sunnymount Park is here too, which is also a very, very nice park. I don't know. I think this one has a bright future. You can go right down the road on Bronte. You can go to LCBO Beer Store. Get a great Sobeys there. I just think that this location is really shaping up to have a lot of things close by, even within walking distance. Now, Hinchey Crescent, 775, I believe Green Park built this one. Excuse me. The two things that I like about this one is that it's got a deeper yard and it backs onto green space. So if your outside space is very important to you, this could be an excellent home. I think the pictures are awful. You can change pretty much everything that you don't like about this one. Clutter here too. It just makes sense to get rid of that stuff. It's even hard to see all the features and finishes. It says it's a walkout, but it doesn't actually show a picture of the walkout downstairs. But for New Milton, that's a pretty respectable size backyard. And at 775, I think it has enough space and size that it could certainly play in this field too. So walkout basement, deeper yard, green space, that's a good trifecta for a lot of people. Now I think we might have to hand out an award on 207 Swindale for the most nonsensical, bordering on obnoxious price change that I've ever seen. They were listed at $639. I don't know how long ago, like recently, and then they canceled the listing, relisted at $932. Things that make you go, almost $300,000 higher. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't know if it's a mistake. Maybe we're going to see it changed. But from what I'm seeing now, my only impression is that's really strange. And the house is nice. We've seen a couple homes that are larger than this one up in the 8s because they're really, really nice homes. But I don't think this one has any business being up in the 9s. There's so many more homes with just significantly more size and features anywhere above 800 compared to this one. So anyway, I think it'll probably sit at this price. And finally, we've got 235 Bronte, number 89. $299 is the price on this one. It's a condo townhouse. Fees are $300 a month. And pretty nice complex, nice mature trees around here. You have decent looking pantry. I don't know if they just painted the original cabinets or if they've put new doors on. That's a gas stove in there too. And the floors look nice. It's set up as being a very kind of split level design. The bathroom looks like it's had some work done. And decluttering obviously would have made a nice difference, but they've taken care of the backyard. Bathrooms, kitchen, backyard, all done for $299 too. It's getting hard to find a condo townhouse for anything under $300,000. So on paper, this one to me looks good, maybe even the best one of the day. Okay, so that's the list. If you have any questions or if you want to see anything this weekend, definitely reach out to us at 905-693-9346 or just send us an email to respond to anything we send out. And I hope you have a great day and a great weekend.